Hello, Steve Arts 89. Well, I just watched Superman and Lois season 2, episode 7, Into Oblivion. It was good, of course. It's always good. It is the highlight of my week, this show, because every other show I watch, I'm just hate watching, so I can review it or talk about it, or just to see what they do next. This I actually watched because I enjoy, and I actually look forward to it. And when it ended, I'm like, is that it? I want more. It's like, yeah, okay. So the episode starts off with, is it Natalie is the daughter? And she is in a little spaceship trying to find her father. And this episode deals with her still having issues with living with Clark, and Lois, as, Clark in the other dimension killed her mother, and Lois was her mother in the other dimension, and they thought throwing her in the deep end sort of would help her with that, but it's not really working. So after helping her father recover, because her father had some memory lapses, and he actually thought Lois was his wife for a moment, and referred to them as his girls and so forth, and they had to correct him in that. He's going to be 100%, but apparently there might be a few other episodes, so things weren't going well, and Clark decided, okay, I have a friend who has an apartment, so they set him up in an apartment with an adjacent repair sort of store, or I don't know what you call it. What do you call it where people fix cars and things? Repair shop, I guess. So that's their story done. Now Jonathan and Jordan, they're still not telling the truth, although I do get them confused. I think Jordan's the one with the superpowers. I'm really trying hard to remember which one's which name-wise, but I have to write it down every week, and I didn't do it. But yeah, the one with superpowers finds out that the other one is covering for his girlfriend. So he works that out because he overhears her being threatened by some guy over drugs. So he works out that that's what all this is about. So during this, he agreed to go on a date or have dinner with his girlfriend and the girl she made out with over summer. So he agreed to that, mostly because he was tuning into the other guy threatening his brother's girlfriend and wasn't paying attention. So he just agreed rather than explain that he actually wasn't listening. So he sort of ended up being stuck with having to do that. But he doesn't get to do that because while I think Jonathan is walking the girlfriend home, because right now part of his grounding is he's working at a convenience store during his free time, and the rest of the time he's studying from home, because he's allowed to continue studying from home, but he's not allowed to come back to class because the parents are still not happy. They don't want a drug dealer around their kids, basically. So he goes to walk her home because this guy's threatening her. The guy shows up. He takes a hit of kryptonite? What is it called? I can't even remember. This is why I need to take notes, because I do forget stuff. And then I can't read my own writing anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But he takes a hit of the yellow gas, and I was worried for Jonathan. I'm like, oh, he's going to get really hurt. And I must say, he gets hit and thrown down on the highway a couple of times, and whoever did those stunts, it looked amazing, because it looked like his body was just it was like, whenever I don't get into a lot of the stunt scenes, because I'm just thinking of the stunt man. I'm just thinking, so that's all I was thinking during that was, because often people get like sort of thrown through things and glass and walls and stuff like that, and it's all on rigs and wires, but it's very hard to really fake hitting the ground. They just have to take the hit, basically. So either way, it was a decent fight scene, and fortunately Jordan shows up last minute, misses his date with the girl and her girlfriend, or his girlfriend and her girlfriend, and he smacks the F out of the drug dealer guy, and he basically runs away. But Jonathan gets messed up pretty much before that. And he goes home and finds that Jordan's still there and didn't go to meet her, so he's, of course, not happy about that, and she's not happy about that, and he won't be able to explain it because he couldn't explain all the injuries from the fight. So I don't know how he's going to explain that to her. It's just going to be a problem. Now, onto the Lanes. Okay, so Lois's boss, I've forgotten her name as well. I think it's Lucy. She had to. She basically went for an interview with Ali. Thank God I wrote her name down. Because, well, they're planning to actually pass over. She was talking to herself through Anderson, who has the pendant. She was talking to herself on the other side, and basically they worked out now is the time that they have to cross over. So they get their hazmat suits on, they go down into the mines, and they're going to cross over, but they're not crossing over. They're basically, it looks like they're being torn apart by the opening, whatever it is. I want to say void, but it's not a void. Yeah. So Superman shows up last minute and rescues like 2 of the 7 people who went in, 3 including Ali, and they take Ali into custody, and she's a bit shaken up because I think basically Anderson stole the pendant off her, and he seems to be the only one who passed through the void safely. All the rest seem to get destroyed. Apparently it's not that easy to cross over, which would make some sense. So she's sort of rattled at first, but then she seems to, of course, adapt and be evil again and think she's in control of everything again. Now, Daddy Lane comes in and tries to work out where Lucy is, and she, of course, shatters him because he's, thinking he's lost his daughter, because obviously the 3 people that they rescued, none of them were Lucy. So him and Lois are struggling because all they got was a message from her before she went and not much else. So they're assuming she's dead and they're trying to cope with that. And then Lucy shows up and she's like, I basically chickened out last minute, which did sound a bit, why all of a sudden would you, change your mind at that point? But she said she left and she didn't have her phone because they took everyone's phones before they went into the mines, and she basically had to walk for miles until she got picked up by a hitchhiker, and then she ended up there, so she couldn't contact them. So her explanation sort of made sense, and she was like, oh, Lois, she was right and everything, and I'm like, that seems a bit too easy, but good, because that storyline was kind of tedious. I'm glad it kind of ended. So Daddy Lane took her home, and then he's having some tea, and then he starts to pass out and realise she drugged him. Why? Because she wants to use his ID to get into the army base so that she can free Ali, because she's all about the Ali, basically. She's still hung up on her, and she still believes in it all and believes that she can ascend. And I'm like, I'm not sure you can ascend, girls. I think there's a bit of a problem there. And God, was there anything else that happened? I think that's the whole episode. Yeah, that's it. It was good, but like I said, it ended really quick. I was wanting more. I sort of thought there was going to be a bit more happening. But yeah, I enjoyed it. The show's good. I am enjoying every episode. I can't fault it. It manages to, give us the superhero stories, the fights, the action, while still doing the family drama and making the characters real enough that they're not just cartoon characters. And I was watching it tonight, and I was like, I remember watching Lois and Clark, and now, all these years later, I'm watching when they were just dating. Now I'm watching them raising kids. I love that these characters and these shows have grown with us, with our society and with our culture and everything. And I'm just wondering what they're going to do, because they've rebooted the show, but they've rebooted it in, in like time, like where their lives have moved on and they've grown. So I'm just wondering where they're going to keep going with this after this. I guess after this, they'll have to either follow the kids or reboot and go back to, Lois and Clark dating again or something. I'm not sure. But I'm not getting too obsessed with where the shows are going or the history or the comic history or anything. I'm just enjoying them as they come along. Like I said, it's the only weekly show I'm watching. I mean, I'm watching Picard, but first episode was good, second episode was worse, third episode is bad, and the next episode, I don't want to watch it. So I really should have watched that first and then watched this as the antidote. But I think the card is up now, or is going to be up in a couple of hours. So yeah, I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I hope I didn't forget anything about it. I mean, and Anderson has the amulet. He's passed on to the other side, so he's probably going to come back, you know, as the big bad. So I thought Ali was going to be the enemy for the season, which I didn't want her to be. It looks like it's going to be Anderson, but it's hard to tell. They do like to twist and turn and, you know, keep us guessing. So we'll see. I'm just going to enjoy having it just happen. Okay, bye.